Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the daily scan for February 6th, 2013. Today is Wednesday. Let's take a look at what's on tap for announcements today. Let's see, Treasury refunding announcement. Well, that's a given. They're just going to throw more money. Petroleum status report at 10:30 may or may not have an effect. I don't know, the gas went up a nickel yesterday here, so that's never a good sign. But let's take a look at our at the market. Here's a curious thing. Everybody's talking about the Dow and 14,000, but the Dow just seems to be having a little bit of a problem. We'll take a look at a chart on the futures, which is not exactly the cash Dow index, but pretty close to it, and it's trading right now. And we are just down. It's sort of forming a doji for today, but that really doesn't mean anything at this time. But it too is having a problem with that 14,000 level. So we have a little bit of momentum leaving the market, and just a short explanation on the MACD here. When the MACD is along the zero line, you usually find price pretty much flattening out. When you see the MACD moving rapidly, then you have a lot of momentum in whatever direction the MACD might be moving. That's probably intuitively obvious, but I have to remind myself occasionally about that. And looking at the S&P mini futures, pretty much the same thing. We're hanging out around 1,500. Whether we can ever get by that or not, it's hard to tell, but I think as long as the Fed is throwing money into the market, I think that we are going to be still in a bullish mode. And looking at the VIX, also, it's just not, there is no movement upwards at all. There is some momentum in the upward direction here, but that's just like an average of what's happening here, and moving averages like the 15 EMA here can sometimes point that out as well. Gas or oil, I should say, is at 96, just still hanging out around there. And the dollar, where did my dollar go? How come? I know it's here. Here it is. The dollar, just a little bit, I guess you could say, I don't know if they call this weaker or stronger, I'm not sure, but we all know that the Fed wants the dollar to drop so that our goods become more attractive and cheaper for everybody else. Alright, let's take a look at our current positions. We have Amazon here, which is underwater a little bit right now, but we have until March. We'll take a look at that on a risk profile. We have until March, so what I had determined from the charts was that there was momentum to the downside rather strong, and a hook over here to the downside on the long term on the weekly chart. So I was placing a bet that Amazon, and it was a 50-50 bet, right? We have 240, 260, so that's a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio, that it's going to be below this 260 mark. So we'll just wait for that to develop. Chipotle, here's the curious thing. They had good earnings last night, actually, and it looks like as though it is going to open down. So what I did yesterday morning around 9:45 or so was I entered this trade. Price of the stock at the time was 307.57, and I did a 305.310 bear call on it, which was effectively at the money at that time, gave the desired effect here. Let me get rid of that. Of 243 risk, 257 reward. So today, or this morning at this present time, we are looking at a bid ask of 294.303, which means it's going to gap down if this holds true at the open. Conversely, Panera had their earnings announcement last night, and they more or less missed the earnings per share target. Let's take a look on the chart here. Estimated was 174 and actual was 131, but you can see here that bid ask is 163, 171. There's a good chance that this will gap up at the open. Well, I like Panera better than Chipotle anyway, personally. But that has nothing to do with the price of the stock. All right, and CRM Salesforce, we're doing fine with that. All right, now let's just jump right over to the A+ list. I'll collapse that. Take a look at Apple. Apple had a fairly decent day yesterday, and it looks like, I wonder how it did overnight. Let's go over here to this one. Overnight, this is a 3-minute chart overnight, and it's moving down this morning a little bit. Let's look at this 1-minute chart here. You can't see that one, and I'm not going to shrink it. So we are looking at a possible gap down this morning for Apple. Amazon, we already covered that. Baidu, I had a note here about Baidu earnings. Let me see here. Whoa, yes, Baidu earnings. I wasn't watching this yesterday. I left at about 10 o'clock. Well, look at this. $1.28.4 estimate and $1.28.1 actual. I think we covered this already yesterday. Those numbers sound familiar. Could have bet to the downside on that based just on what's happening over here on the weekly. There's definitely a very strong downtrend on Baidu, and hopefully the price doesn't get too low for me to lose interest in it for my A+ list. CF Industries, we're looking for a hook down here. I may have to wait a little bit longer for that to develop. Any hint at what might be happening today? 225, 230. No, nothing exciting happening there. If you look at the midpoint, it's pretty much where it closed last night. All right, Chipotle and CRM we covered. Let's take a look at Google. Uptrend. We might be getting a hook here. Let's put a little target on that thing. We might be getting a hook there in the next day or two. Nothing to get excited about at the moment. Nice, very strong uptrend. I would be, because the uptrend is so strong, I would be looking for a hook at this 45 level and a hook up here on the MACD. The moving average is already in a nice mode here above the zero line, and a hook up here would be nice, and we would jump on that probably with a 50-50 or a 1-to-1 trade at the money. MasterCard, still looking at that one. I had a note here that it's setting up. I didn't say this was a bear call that I was talking about yesterday, according to my notes. I don't know how a bear call could have played into this. I would say I would be looking at a bull put here with this hook. So, all these last days it's been kind of flat. I'm going to wait. Well, no, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to put an alert here. So let's stick an alert in here. At or above 523.30. That sounds pretty good for right now. But I won't be able to do anything about it today because I'm heading to the other side of the state to visit some friends from Canada. So I may not be able to do anything about it. But at least with the alert, I'll know that I could have. And I may set up I might set up a trade. I may set up an order on that depending on the underlying price, which I've shown that in other videos. Netflix, we didn't get the hook that we really wanted here. The alert did go off on this yesterday, but again I was gone. It happened while I was over in Cocoa Beach, so couldn't do anything about it over there. So I didn't do anything about it yesterday. Hopefully maybe one of you guys did. And Priceline, we got a nice hookup on that too, so I'm going to put an alert over here. At or above. We got an alert on that. On this one too, I may put in a conditional order. Assuming that, let's say that it, where are we at? It closed way down here at 691. Yeah, I may do like maybe a 700 we'll put on that with a conditional order. If it moves above this, maybe I'll make it at 699. That's what I'll do. Let me modify this. Let's say 699. It's difficult to get this down here. That's good. Alright. I can fine tune that, and I will do a conditional order on it to do that. Let me show you how I would set that up. So, what did I do? I said 700, right, on Priceline. And I think I would do next week's expiration. And a 700. Take a look at this risk profile. Yeah, it looks like it's at 699 right now. Yeah, it's going to gap up this morning. So if I want to put a conditional order here, I would say create duplicate order, and I would click on this little wheel over here and sell one of these, limit price, no, I would say market, and I want to make it dependent on Priceline. We'll say mark at or above 699, and that should do it. So we say wait until the following condition is satisfied. Mark price of the security is greater or equal to 699. This order will show a wait condition status during waiting. Submit the following order: sell one vertical, Priceline 100 Feb 13 700 695 put at current market price. The order is valid only for the current trading day, and this is only time in force is for today. Sell market, okay. And then what we would do here is Hit the confirm and send, and that's the right account, and we'll say send, and there it will sit. If we look at our trades, here it is down here, vertical, it's in a wait condition. Alright, so we're locked and loaded on Priceline. So we'll see what happens today. It may not be exactly one-to-one risk reward, but we'll find out. So when my alert goes off, which I have on this chart, I will know that we have entered. So let me do a cancel or replace, and I'll make this exactly $6.99. Why $6.99? Oh, that's a new one. Oh, darn. Oop. I messed that up. Alright, just to show you that I'm not perfect. We're doing a cancel replace. Again, $6.99. Create. And there we have it. And that should be it for today, folks. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.